Hello everyone. I hope everyone is having a great week so far and is ready for the nice end of week check-in on our market structure, overall pivots, what to look for, what has happened. So, not going to be too much new information. I do highly recommend going and watching last week's video as well as the week before for some more insight on some of these levels. I'm going to more kind of just run through the pivots once again, look at our structure, what has shifted, what hasn't. Long story short, not a lot has shifted, and basically your same pivots are still holding, still applying. Let's take a look first at the the end of last week on Friday. Now, if people recall from the last couple videos, I really did not think that we were going to spend time building out this area. This was a very strong low volume node, with sell side value very much respected from this 110 to 125 edge of our lower distribution, and then our most built out node being the bottom of March structure. Now, I was completely incorrect on that, and we can see last Friday we came up and held into our this low volume node, and our early week here through Monday, Tuesday this week, we rejected this March structure. I will quickly zoom out and over to give you guys a reminder. So here is our contract roll. Then all of March, beginning of April, right? Building out this area over 5150 to 5170. I was pretty confident that we would see stronger tests into this structure, and any build out down below in this LVN would be from liquidity tests in, and essentially the exact opposite of what I kind of thought was going to happen occurred, where we did not get any real strong tests into this March structure, and instead put a new auction in this LVN and really built it out. There is a VPOC sitting up here at 5140, but really no desire to get back up into March's structure. I thought for sure we would get a little trap and look up. Like I said, I was completely wrong about that. But now we have good structure here to work off of. Tuesday, mid-afternoon into this Wednesday FOMC, we returned back to our primary balance and this primary node right here. And this sell side resistance that was holding strong Friday and then Monday, Tuesday held above has regained, and sellers are willing to drop back down. Now, pivots, like I said at the beginning, have really not shifted at all from last week or last week's video. You still are now respecting our sell side here in this 110 to 125. I prefer to lean towards 115 to 125, but we need to respect this edge and can look down into 10, about a 15-point range there. Below that, this 5100 to 05, still our primary value here in our primary balance. So 5105 being last week's POC, last month's POC. We can see on our composite pulled chart, this is our POC. This is where we are finding value. So 51 to 5105 is your primary weekly pivot. If we can hold above, we should expect tests back towards this 25 edge. We can obviously accept this edge. We can look for these node oscillations, and then ultimately the original kind of pathing, right? Looking up towards this 5170 and into March's structure. Failures here at 5100 to 5105 put pressure down on this edge into 5180. We'll mark that right here, being your secondary pivot. Any trades where we fall through 5080 and see this offered very aggressively, you should assume is going to make a full oscillation and target this 5040. So that there can be a lot of noise and obviously oscillations and transactions as well as miniature auctions happening in this node, but really I'd be looking, okay, if we're under 5080, look for 5040. And if we support 5040, same idea on the way back up, right? We should expect tests back into this edge. Up and over, then we can look into 5100. So we have a nice 40 points here to play around, and a nice 20 to potentially, around 45 up into our sell side value here. So I know that this looks like one giant node, and it can be perceived as that, but I really prefer splitting this into a double distribution and chunking it out like this, with 50-80 being your most kind of important area for pressures here. I'm not going to go too much into the FOMC actual ruling, but with first of all being surprised at this LVN being built out, second, I am surprised we are still holding our overall balance after yesterday's reaction. Obviously, initially, very strong buy side right into our seller value, and then right back down into our buy side value. Next week, you will probably see this gray pivot box turn green. I do feel strongly that no one is interested in selling below here for now. And that pathing still, we talked about this last week, but if we do get underneath this area now, I expect a break of the lows and preferably to trade towards 49.40. So yeah, not much has shifted in terms of pivots at all. Value has not shifted. Our overall balance area is still holding as well. Final review for areas to mark, 25. 5100 to 5105, so your primary value. 5080 and 5040. And if you really simplify things, you can just trade between these levels and understand if we look underneath, you're looking for 4970, but 4940 preferably. And if we're able to look above, we want to see this 5160 to 70 trade. 5200 on a really strong bullish move, still your main kind of area. We can quickly, very, very quickly, go take a look at our weekly chart. You can see with our little pop above, we have ended this weekly one-time framing down, the look above, but really we want to get up into this 5200 and take out this 5215 for a real strong bullish reversal. Makes sense as well structurally on our higher time frame, with this kind of node sitting above, your primary one below. We look through the low volume node and accept this upper auction, hold edge, and oscillate, right? So on any real bullish, this is your main kind of look, this 5200 to 5215, but we should not assume we're going to break value until we see some pressures into this initial, March low area, and then we can play our 30 to 50 points back up into our primary structure above. I don't have anything else for you guys. Like I said, if you want some more information, a little bit more in depth, make sure to go rewatch the last couple weeks videos. I do a lot more kind of in depth on these areas, but nothing has shifted in terms of what I'm looking to play off of, as well as coming and attending our free live streams available on YouTube, where we go over these levels, we see them trade real time. Great opportunity for you guys to ask questions, learn some more about these setups, how we're finding these areas, building on your own trading, as well as I want to quickly highlight, make sure people are aware that we have hundreds and hundreds of hours of educational content, from structural changes, break of structure stuff, to a lot of volume profile shapes, auction market theory classes, as well as live examples and recaps of trades we have actually taken. So a lot of good resources we have available for you guys. Please reach out if you need any direction or want any further clarification on those type of things. Yeah, trade safe tomorrow. See a little pop right here back into our 05 off of this Apple earnings report. But yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow in Globex. If we can hold this, be looking for 25, and then really interested once we finally get into March. Trading more passively here. Just really trading off the pivots and going for these larger degree oscillations, since they seem to be holding quite well, and the noise in the middle is not super enticing for me. So that's all I got. Enjoy your weekend, enjoy your Friday, and I will see you guys next week.